Hey guys, welcome back to one more episode of Late Night Life Lessons to Share. So today I wanted to tell you guys a story about myself when I was about 16 or 17 years old, and I lived in the North Park area, and I was completely desperate, super broke, didn't know what to do. Okay, I had a car, I was working part-time after school, and I had less than 20 bucks in the bank. So I had to go into the bank so that I could pull out all the cash that I had. I had probably like $19 or something because I remember I couldn't get it out of the ATM. So I left some change in my bank account so they wouldn't close it, but I pulled out like $18, 19 bucks, something like that. I didn't have much gas in my gas tank, and I didn't know what to do because if I put the money in the gas tank, I'd be broke for the next week and have nothing to do nothing with. And if I kept that money, then I mean, how do you get around if you don't have gas? I couldn't even afford to take the bus for the rest of the week. So I didn't know what to do. I was pretty desperate. And in your moment of desperation, you become super creative and you basically make things work. So a lot of people are like, I can't do this, I can't do that. And what that tells me is that you're not desperate enough. Because if you were super desperate and backed into a corner and had no other choice, you would find a way. Okay? People get super creative. So when you're stressed and life is sucking really bad and you don't know what to do and you feel like life is falling apart, that is literally the moment where you are about to shine. So I didn't know what to do. And for some reason, I have no idea, but for whatever reason, I came up with what I think is a magnificent idea at the age of 16, 17 years old. So San Diego, I knew in the Hillcrest area that there was two nightclubs or two bars that were on the same block, and there was a parking lot that was not monitored. It was basically like private property parking lot, but it wasn't being monitored. It wasn't supervised. It was just open to the public. There was no fence or gate around it. And people were just parking there on Fridays and Saturdays. They were going to the bar. And to be honest, like, I have no idea how I came up with this idea. But I went down to Kinko's in the gas lamp. There was a Kinko's. It's still there. It's on 5th and C Street, right by the trolley tracks. So I went down to Kinko's, and I told these guys at Kinko's that I wanted a giant fluorescent pink, like a hot pink sign, a big poster board, like 2 foot by 3 foot giant sign. Okay. And I wanted it to say supervised parking, $3. That's it. That's all I wanted the sign to say in big black bold letters across a hot pink sign. I just wanted it to say supervised parking, $3. So if you guys get the drift of where I'm going with this, I procured one of those A-frame signs that the city usually uses when they're doing construction on the street. They want to block off streets. They put those A-frame signs out there that says road closed, traffic go that way. So I went ahead and procured one of those signs, and I posted that sign up at the back of this parking lot. Okay? Posted that sign up right there in the back of the parking lot. And then I stood at the front of the parking lot with a t-shirt on that said security. So I'm just some random 17-year-old that doesn't have permission to be at that parking lot. But yeah, when you're desperate, you're desperate. So on a Friday night, I stood at that parking lot and people drove in and they're like, supervised parking? It wasn't supervised last week. This was free parking last week. And I said, yeah, yes, sir, I understand. It's free parking last week, but you know what? It's private property, and the owner wants it supervised for liability issues with the parking lot. So we had two options. We can either charge to park on private property, or you guys can look for street parking. And everybody is like, no, there's no street parking. So here's $3. So I kid you not, with no gas in my tank, and I had just blown the only $18 I had to my name. And I'm like 16, 17 years old. So I don't have money management skills. And I have no idea how I came up with this stupid, this ingenious idea. But that Friday night, $3 at a time, I ended up making $200 cash. So I literally threw the sign in the back of my car and I drove off to the gas station with $200 cash in my pocket. So you know that Saturday I went back to that lot. And here's the ironic thing. Saturday I go back to the parking lot and guess what? Club security's waiting for me. Club security's like, you can't be here, you can't be here. I was like, it's private property, bro. I can be here. You can't be here. You're not. It's not your parking lot. Get out of here. So obviously they're like, we're going to call the cops. And I'm like, go ahead. So they called the, well, I don't know if they called the cops because I didn't stick around long enough. But I posted up my sign. I charged a bunch of people to park. And within an hour or two, I had made $80. And then I got nervous. I got scared. One of the security guards came down and he said he called the cops. So I didn't stick around. I basically threw the sign in the back of my car. I went and returned it to wherever I got it from. And I took off with $80 in my pocket. Point of that story is, who knows what kind of crazy, amazing, ingenious ideas you can come up with when you are stressed, when you are down on your luck, when you are broke and you just got change in the ashtray of your car and you are just completely a mess and a wreck. That is when you are on the cusp, right there on the brink of making some amazing breakthrough, okay? Most people do their biggest growth when they are literally under the most amount of pressure. So when you guys are having hard luck and you're having a hard life and life is kicking you, okay, right now, that's when you are about to do something amazing. So I hope you guys find something in this story inspirational. I just feel like the lesson to be learned is, actually, everybody takes something different from the story. But some people think it's entrepreneurial. Some people think it's ridiculous and crazy. But I guess my hope is that you guys would realize that it's true. I mean, what would you do if you were a single parent and you had 3 kids to feed and you had $8? You can't go grocery shopping with $8. What would you do if you were, I don't know, instead of buying a pizza, because the first thing I was thinking about was like, I would buy a pizza. I would buy an $8 large pizza and I would feed my 3 kids. But that's only for one meal. So what would you do if you're a single parent with $8 and you had 3 kids and you wanted to feed them for a day, like a full day? You know what I would do? I would go to the grocery store with $8. I'd buy a loaf of bread, so like 24 slices, and I would buy a can of peanut butter and a can of jelly, and I'd make sandwiches for the whole day. And yeah, but you know what? Man, some people have a hard life and they're happy, and some people have an easy life and they're miserable. The point is that when you're down on your luck, it's only temporary. And that is the biggest opportunity for you guys to shine. All right. So this is the parking lot that I was at in 1996, 1997. And so the funny thing is I had this great idea, right? And I made $280 here in 2 days as a 17-year-old with a Kinko's Made sign and the audacity to do it. But like I said, I was desperate. Desperate people, they're smart people. So the owner of this property found out what I was doing on his property without permission. And just to block me, this guy took my idea and he capitalized on my idea. So right here, the owner of this parking lot of this building didn't want me, some random little teenager on his lot. So he rented it out. And he's making money. He's making money, big bucks every month. He's making money off of my idea. And I'm like, I should be getting a cut of that, right? I should be getting a cut. But I didn't get any cut, but that's all good. All right, thanks for watching. Share this video with somebody you know that's down on their luck. If you know somebody that's having a hard life right now, that's struggling financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it is, okay, they are literally right there on the cusp of a big breakthrough, okay? When life gives you no other choice and you can't go down any further, the only way you can go is up. I'll talk to you guys soon.